guys, happy Friday. Welcome back to Fearless Fridays. Today is July 24th. This is episode 62 of Fearless Fridays, and I thank you for joining me. As always, if it's your first time watching, welcome to the show. If you are a returned watcher, welcome back to the show. I appreciate you returning and watching and sharing and enjoying and commenting and all of that good stuff. So listen, today I want to talk to you about what I just did at the beginning of this video. I talk to so many people about fear, and I coach people about how to deal with fear, how to get to the other side of their fear, how to confront their fear, how to name their fear, all of those things. And so often, one of the questions that I like to ask people is, when you first feel fear, what is your immediate response? What is your split second response? How do you deal with that fear? How do you face it when it kind of rears its ugly head? And people have all kinds of responses. Some people say I run, some people say I cry, some people say I distract myself, some people say I, put myself in a place where I'm completely alone and I can just be by myself. And I just want to give you a tip today on a way that you can begin to deal with fear in a healthy way. Something that will help you when you feel that fear or when anxiety or trepidation comes on you. And it is simply this: just breathe. That's it. Nothing fancy, nothing too wacky, nothing that's hard to remember. Just remember to breathe. I don't know about you, but for me, when I feel fear, or when I start to feel anxiety, or when something is happening around me and it just gets me in that space, in that fearful space, one thing that I have learned to recognize is how I respond. What is my immediate physiological response to fear? And for me, it's like my heart starts to pound, maybe my hands get a little sweaty, sometimes I start to have a headache. But the one main thing that I notice is my heart starts to pound. And one thing that I've learned is that if I just take a moment, just a split second of a moment, to make sure that I am breathing properly, deeply, and correctly, that puts me immediately in a better space where I can deal with whatever is happening around me. Oxygen. Our bodies need oxygen to function. It is literally the life force of the body. If you are not breathing, your body cannot operate properly. If your body is not getting oxygen to your blood, oxygen to your muscles, oxygen to your brain, if your body is not getting oxygen, your body cannot function the way it was intended to function, the way it was designed to function. Our bodies were designed to function on oxygen. But when fear comes, sometimes we start to hyperventilate. Sometimes we start to hold our breath. Sometimes we start to breathe in, but we're not breathing out. Sometimes we breathe so shallowly that nothing is happening in our body. And when you are not breathing fully, when your body is not getting the oxygen that it needs to operate, you can't think clearly. Your body can't operate properly, and you can't get from one moment to the next. So I just want to remind us all, this is something that works for me. And I just want to remind us all to remember to breathe. And I don't mean a shallow breath. A lot of times we breathe these shallow breaths and our shoulders are coming up like this, we're inhaling like that. I don't mean that. I mean, drop your shoulders. This is something that I have to remind myself of all the time. My shoulders are always like up here, and I have to tell myself, Tryphena, drop your shoulders. So drop your shoulders. Get comfortable. Breathe a deep, full belly breath. Your belly should expand. Your back should expand. The air should go into your belly before it comes to your chest. So if you're breathing up here like this, it's not a full breath. Breathe deep into your belly and exhale. And there's a breathing technique that I actually learned very recently. And it was actually based off of a commercial for some kind of mechanism that will help you do this, but you don't need the mechanism. You don't need any outside thing to help you do this. And I'm going to show you what it is. Breathe in deeply through your nose And what this mechanism is it kind of looks like a metal straw, and you would put it in your mouth and you would breathe out for 10 through that mechanism, but we don't have the mechanism, and that's fine. Just put your lips like you are about to take a sip out of a straw. So breathe in deeply as you possibly can. Form your mouth, form your lips like you're about to take a sip out of a straw, and then exhale through that small space for 10 counts. So we're actually going to do this right now. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to inhale deeply, deep into my belly. I'm going to form my lips into a straw kind of shape, and then I'm going to exhale for 10, and I'm going to show you. Now that was a count of 10, but I could actually have exhaled a little bit longer. But I noticed that, and I'm already feeling calm, but I noticed that I felt a little bit calmer. My shoulders, which are always up here, started to drop naturally. And I just felt like I had a firmer foundation where I could make a rational decision. Now, obviously, I'm not in the space of anxiety or fear at this moment, but this is something that you can practice and remember, so that when you are in that space of fear and anxiety, you can remind yourself, just breathe, just breathe. Make sure you are breathing deeply into your belly and exhaling fully. Your mind will stop racing as much. Your heart will stop pounding as much, and you'll be able to think clearly and make rational decisions, more rational than they would be if you are acting out of a space of fear and anxiety. So just try that. We're going to do it one more time. Do it with me. I invite you to do it with me. Make sure you're in a comfortable position. You could be standing, you could be seated, but make sure you're in a comfortable position. Breathe in a deep breath for 10, or breathe in a deep, deep breath. Form your mouth like around a straw, right? And then exhale for 10. Let's do it together. That feels amazing to me. How does it feel to you? I hope you feel calmer. I hope you feel more peaceful. Even if you're already in a calm place, which I am, I feel even calmer. I feel even more peaceful. And so this is something that I want to remind you of as you're going out and about in your day, in this quarantine life we're living, in this social justice life we're living, in this protest, COVID, crazy political situation that we're in. Remember to breathe. When you feel that fear, when you feel that anxiety, remember to breathe. I think India Ari has a song. Continue to breathe, continue to breathe. And that's what you got to do. Continue to breathe fully, deeply, completely. And watch how that shifts your response. And not just fear, to all kinds of things. Anger, frustration. Watch how just the breath shifts your response. God gave it to us, and it's like free and cheap and easy. It's free, not even cheap, it's just free. And our bodies need it. Our bodies need it so much that our bodies do it naturally. We don't have to tell ourselves to breathe. When we go to sleep at night and we're completely unconscious, our body continues to do that. So our bodies know how to do it. But when we get caught up in our mind and caught up in our emotions, we are the ones who stop our bodies from doing what our bodies do naturally. So let your body do what it does naturally. Breathe. That's what I have to share with you guys this week. I hope everyone has a safe and wonderful and enjoyable weekend. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, continue to breathe. As always, fear is stupid. Get out in the world. Live, love, go, do, be. I'll see you next week. Breathing. Breathing.